We're out at the track at the turf again. Nice sunny day. Gonna get our sprints in. We just finished up some plyos. Warm up. We did some straight leg prime times, 30 yards, and some bounds, 30 yards. Those are our main plyos to get prepped here. We're gonna do some more warm up. We're gonna do some reaction sprints. I'm gonna toss the ball, see how it bounces. Just explode out of there. Go get it. Best way to get warmed up for sprinting is to actually sprint, so get warmed up that way. I might do some longer ball toss where I toss it out, run, catch the first one, and then toss it again, catch the second one. So longer distance. Then once we get on to put our spikes on, we're gonna actually do some fly 10s. So probably like 40-yard builds into fly 10s. We'll do some no arm to start, just to get that torso, that trunk rotating. Then we'll time our fast one, or hopefully fast ones. Looking to get that 21 miles an hour again. That's our goal again. I don't know about the free lap. It's been hit or miss the last few times, of everywhere from 1.0102 to 1. Just random times. So hopefully they're working right today. So again, object of today is go fast. We'll get our sprints done here, then we'll head back, do our jumps and lifts at home. All right, we are back in the garage, ready to get some lifts, some jumps done. So we're going to start with we're going to stick with that overcoming ISO calf raise into the pin or into the J cups. I hit different angles, just get some good tension. Let that ankle bend, eversion, inversion, just regular external rotation. Those things. Just hit the ankle in a bunch of different positions. Heavy. Overcoming ISO into the bar, so you're trying to move that rack. I can actually move this one a little bit just because it's not bolted in, so the harder you push, the more it's going to move. But again, getting back from sprints, pain in the butt. The free lap was, I think it timed one of my, 5 sprints that I was actually timing. So that one was 1 second even, which is good, but I would have liked to see what the other ones were. So I don't know, it's just a pain in the butt when stuff doesn't work. And again, you can attribute that to even, you see so much stuff about optimal training all the time too. And technology is not always optimal because it doesn't always work, but training optimally. And when I think about training optimally, yes, I'm sure there's some perfect plan out there that train X amount of days is perfect for you, X amount of sets, X amount of reps to build muscle, to get faster, whatever, to build strength. But life is not built in this vacuum. It's not optimal. What's optimal for you is what's practical for you. And at different times of the year, different things, different days of training might be optimal. You might be super busy with work or chasing the kids around in the summer. You got 10 different sports you're chasing around to, or 10 different events, and then you got work on top of it. So it might not be optimal to train 4 times a week for you, which might be the perfect plan. But it might be optimal for you just because it's practical to train 2 times a week, 3 times a week, whatever it is. That might be perfect to train an hour a day. That might be quoted on as optimal. But again, what is optimal for you at that time of the year, at that time of the day, of the program? That's what's really going to be optimal. Optimal needs to be practical. It needs to fit your life. And it doesn't need to be strict and rigid. It can be fluid and change. Like, you're feeling like crap one day, your optimal training plan might have programmed 4 sets of 5. Well, at 80%. Well, that 80% feels like 110% a day. So maybe you just back off a little bit and you go from there. You do a little bit of more speed-based training or something like that. Something that's a little lighter, a little faster. It's not going to set you back and fatigue you as much. So again, optimal training is what's optimal for you at that time. What's practical for you at that time, what you can be consistent with. And again, it doesn't need to be some super rigid, this 53-week plan, because that stuff doesn't work, because life happens. So when you're thinking of optimal training, think about what's optimal for you at that time of the year, or whatever it may be at that time of the week, that time of the program. So things can change. It's not set in stone. So again, optimal training is great in, I don't know, the philosophy of it, the idea of it, sure. But again, it's got to be practical. It's got to fit your lifestyle. You get burnt out and you get beat up and banged up and get inconsistent if you're trying to fit your lifestyle around some optimal training plan. So that's my thoughts on that, but we might talk more about that as we go. But back to the training, we're going to do the overcoming ISO calf raise. We're going to do lateral jumps over the mats again. We're not going to go into the front one. We're going to do like 180s over it. So jump 180, jump 180. We're going to see if we can do that. Well, we'll see how we do on those. Then we're going to do a single leg depth drop. We're going to actually do a single leg depth drop first over to the mini hurdle. So just drop off a small box, work on those quick ground reactions, getting off the ground fast over those hurdles. So not necessarily for maximum height, but quickness and height at the same time. All right, first one we're just going to do a regular toes forward. Drop off it, one leg, we'll do both legs, quick ground. Not the best. My upper body's not moving. All right, we're gonna do some rhythm lunges. So just speed down, just feel that rhythm like we've been doing the split squat, kind of the oscillatory, but these are gonna be rhythm lunges, trying to get in a rhythm, be quick. Band's pulling us down, so it's giving us a little bit of more force in the ground. We're gonna pair this with the split drop jumps. So split squat. Then we'll drop, split squat, jump up in the air, come down one leg into a height, and we're going off the ramp this week. Again, you can have the most optimal training plan in the world. It could be perfect every set, every rep, dialed to a T. But if you're not consistently doing it, that optimal plan is crap. So again, you could have someone do the crappiest program ever, but if they're consistent with it, they're probably going to see better results than that optimal plan that you never do. Or it doesn't fit your lifestyle, so you can't fit it in because it's too long or it's too many days or whatever. So again, optimal needs to be optimal to your situation. Regular old deadlifts, I know. Weird, huh? Just a regular old deadlift. Workout, we'll do sets of 2. We're gonna explosion. Not gonna go super heavy. We'll see how we're feeling, but we're gonna pair that with a PVC, just standing rapid rotations. Again, heavy on the spine, and we'll go light and fast, let the spine move a little bit. So let's work our way up, see how we're feeling. I'm gonna take these shoes off because whenever possible, I like lifting with no shoes on. Main reason I wear shoes is just on jumps, just for that impact. I mean, these shoes are decent, kind of blocky, but again, I'll have a decent pair of barefoot shoes or minimal shoes. All right, ideal, but those aren't too bad. These rad ones are all right. But again, I prefer lifting with no shoes on. Just let the feet breathe. We don't do that enough. Again, people take it too far where they're walking in grocery stores barefoot and all this stuff. So go around your house barefoot. That's a good place to start. Do your warm up, maybe barefoot or in socks. Again, you have a lot of receptors in your feet, so you get a lot of sensory activity in there. So let your feet breathe. Let them move. And no, you don't need toe spacers or anything like that, because when you're sprinting, you want narrower shoes. That's why track spikes are so narrow. You want big floppy like you're running flippers. But again, when you're just here, when you're doing nothing, just go barefoot, go in your socks, let your feet breathe, get out of shoes for a while. There's nothing wrong with that. It's going to help you. Wearing shoes too much as it is. But again, when you're at home, when you're allowed to work out, like in my garage, if you got your own gym, train barefoot. But again, you don't need to be walking out in stores and restaurants and stuff barefoot, or just bragging about how great it is. It's good, yeah. Let your feet move, let your feet breathe. But again, like anything, people take it too far and try and promote it as you have to be barefoot everywhere. That's why they say no shoes, no shirt, no service. But what about pants? So you can wear. So if I wear shoes, a shirt, but no pants, do I still get service? That is the question of the day. I'll put the velocity trainer on there just to, again, gauge intent, being explosive on the way up, or the concentric for, again, I don't need to use all the strength and conditioning terms like concentric, eccentric. Some of you might know what that stuff is, but a lot of you don't, and that's fine. A lot of you aren't in geeking out about this stuff like I do, so try to make it normal terms for normal people. So the way up, I don't know, the upward trajectory of the movement, I guess. The lowering would be the eccentric. So just keep our way. See how these are flowing. Again, my garage is sloped, so I have to put those there, so otherwise the bar would roll away. Keeping the hips square and just focusing on the spine. You can go fast, you can go slow. You can work on get there and hold. You can stop halfway. Just change it up. Again, movement is your medicine. Move your body. Some single leg Zercher sandbag squats, so it'll be up on this box. You could go on a bench. I just don't like this bench because it's so squishy. You get off balance a lot easier, and you already have enough balance trouble just doing a single leg. So I might have to move this, we'll see. We'll do those, then we're going to finish up with some isos. We're going to go banded, kind of splits against the wall, so I'll be laying on my back. You can probably do it out here. Band pulling my legs, get the groin, get the adductors there. You'll feel hip flexors too, and then we're going to do a single leg iso hold, hamstring iso, bridge against the wall. So have probably my shoulders on a bench and the foot pressing against the wall, hold out there in an extended position. So let's see if we can get these bad boys. So those bags, I think these bags are like 50 pounds. And probably leaking. Yeah, it's leaking everywhere. Haven't done these in a while, so let's see how they are. Again, balance is going to be an issue, so the load is not super heavy on these. Whereas if you want to go heavier single leg, as Pat Davidson would say, ground yourself, give yourself some hand supports, or a split squat would even be different. So again,